Today we are going out fishing with Basono from Sydney's Peace and Love. But before we go out fishing, we have to fix Basono's engine on his boat. So we took another engine that Basono had laying around that didn't work, and then we took the part that was broken off of that one and put it on the new engine that actually worked. Basono had lots of engines laying around, but after about an hour to an hour and a half of working on it, we finally got it to work. After we fixed his engine, he asked us to lend him some gas. We filled his fuel tank up about halfway with gasoline, and then after we filled it about halfway, he used his contaminated fuel, which had water all through it, and he poured that back into the tank that we had just poured our gasoline into. Well, we got Basono's fuel tank filled up. Now it's time to see if the engine will actually start. To be honest, I wasn't really expecting it to, but it actually did. It started on the first pull, which I was very surprised at. Once his engine started, we went over to the dock where Basono picked us up. We made it about maybe 40 feet, and then Basono realized that his lighter for all of his cigarettes had broken and all of the lighter fluid had leaked out. So he backed up at nearly full power back to the dock. We're back! Then Basono ran off and told us that he will be back. After about 20 minutes, he came back, and then we were on our way for the second time. As we started to exit Little Harbor, which is where Sydney's Peace and Love is located, we noticed that the seas were picking up significantly as we were getting around the point. Then after we really came around the point, the seas had picked up even more significantly, and we are now battering into 3.5 to 4 foot seas. Then we found Basono's first pot, which was right around the corner from Little Harbor. Basono pulled it up by hand and then finally got it to the boat after about 10 minutes.
Someone can haul my pots already. For weeks, I come to haul my trucks. And these guys are wrong hand and know my engine was broke down. And will come to haul my trucks.
What Basono was saying is that the other fishermen pulled them up right before Basono came and pulled all the fish out of them. There was only 2 small fish in the first pot. Then after we got the fish out of Basono's pot and he put it back together and rebaited it, we took it to the new location where Basono wanted to drop it. This part is another one of those very, very funny parts, so just sit back and watch it. So what happened was when Basono was throwing his fish pot overboard, he had accidentally thrown his cushion that he usually sits on in with it. So Basono backed up it, this time I'm sure it was full power, back into the fish pot where he just dropped all of that rope. All of that rope was still floating because the crab pot hadn't touched the seafloor yet and was still sinking down. So he backed up at full power into this rope, and then he finally got within reach of the cushion that he usually sits on, and he almost got it in his hand, but then the boat drifted away, so he gave it one last rev to full power, and that's when he wrapped the fish pot that he had just dropped in the water into his dinghy engine prop, and then that's when he got the cushion, and then he successfully unwrapped the fish pot from his prop. This isn't the waterproof case, right? I should put it underwater on the bottom. Looks heavy, doesn't it? This must have a lot of stuff in it. It's still on the bottom. Does this one have like lots of stuff in it?
I think it's snagged on something. Up to the reef. Look at it.
Basono's fish pot was stuck on the seafloor, so he couldn't pull it up. First, we tried tying his painter onto the fish pot line and gunning the boat in full power forward to try to set the pot free. We thought it was working, and we were almost up on plane when the crab pot had snagged on something else, and we came to an immediate stop in less than a second. Keep in mind that we were basically up on plane. This didn't work at all. He still couldn't get his crab pot off the seafloor, so we tried to do the exact same thing again. Only this time we tried backing up at full power, not going forward. Pulling on the fish pot in reverse didn't work either, so we tried doing it one more time. But first, Basono had to bail all the water out of his boat so it wouldn't sink. This time, Basono was really pedal to the metal. It worked. After about an hour of trying to get his fish pot up, we finally got it up to the boat.
This is gonna be your lunch today. You gotta enjoy you guys. Take a picture.
what me and Basono were just saying was that I thought that I had seen another fish pot over to our port side, but it turned out it was just a whitecap, and that it wasn't really a fish pot. Since it was too rough to look for the rest of Basono's fish pots, we decided to head back into Little Harbor. We also decided to head back because the waves were increasing in size and we were almost constantly bailing Basono's boat out since the waves were so big that they were coming in over the side of the boat. Well, that's it for this video. Make sure if you like my videos to subscribe to our channel. Just press on our faces on the screen. And thank you for watching.